I want to talk about high alcoholic beer now. And so a good colleague of ours has brought on a sample. Don't know what it is. We know it's high alcohol. And I was thinking of doing a small competition, putting it through the instrument, and then we two have to guess what the actual alcohol is. Are you down for that?
I am.
Cool.
Bring it on.
Let's get it through the instrument to start out with then. Oh. It's a viscous fella. So pour it into the sample and press go. And now we're measuring. And I think we should measure as well. So get some sample.
Thank you. Cheers.
There's a lot of alcohol in this one, that's for
yes.
sure.
I definitely agree.
Very tasty though.
Yes. It also has some barrel character.
Definitely some barrel character.
So we can take that into account when guessing.
And yeah, I would say it's relatively high. I would guess maybe it's almost like it's very vinous. I would guess maybe 18%.
Good guess. All right. I think my guess is a bit lower maybe. I think we're around 17, maybe 16.8.
16.8.
Yeah, I think I will go with that.
While it measures, Sophie, maybe you could talk a bit about how you actually produce high alcoholic beers.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the way you produce high alcoholic beers is of course finding a yeast strain that can tolerate a lot of alcohol to begin with. Then you brew a high gravity wort. So you want to put as much or build as much sugar into your wort as possible. So the yeast has a lot of sugar to produce alcohol from. So yeah, when you have your wort and you add your yeast, then also a lot of oxygen for the yeast to grow, and also of course yeast nutrients, because the yeast will be a bit stressed producing that much alcohol. So this is where it's really nice to have the BeerFoss instrument while this high gravity beer is fermenting, because you can actually follow the fermentation and you can follow whether you have like a stock fermentation or you maybe need to adjust something, add some more nutrients, and this is just really nice when producing these very high ABV beers.
Then we also talked a bit about barrel aging in regards to, so can you explain just a couple of words on what that means?
Yeah, so after you have completed the primary fermentation of your beer, you can put the beer into barrels. And these can, for instance, be old cognac barrels or whiskey barrels. And of course, the barrel contains maybe some whiskey in the bottom or something else. So the alcohol can, be elevated a little bit because of it staying in the barrel. So while the beer is in the barrel, it's also gonna concentrate, so some moisture will evaporate, and this will also increase the alcohol of the beer. So yeah, in this way a barrel can elevate.
And that's, with barrel aging and high alcoholic beers in general, that's some of the reasons why we actually think it's important to measure, because you have this extra pickup that you can't detect with normal measurement methods. You have a disproportionate dilution of your watery substance that you normally have in beer with a lot of alcohol. Water weighs differently than alcohol. Alcohol is a bit lighter, but as Sophie said, you also have a more concentrated wort. You have more density in general, and that means that you will have like both higher and lower. So the normal formulas for actually calculating your ABV will have an offset, and that offset can be influenced by so many things that you don't really know. So having a direct method where you go in IR sharp peaks in the spectra, we are really good at looking at where you can actually see alcohol. This is something that are fun to look at compared to normal methods with our instrument, because you actually get a very accurate results on alcohol. And we are actually now done measuring, and we can see it's a very high ABV, so there's definitely been some concentration and some alcohol pickup in the barrel. We are at 19.7%. So
well done, Nikolai.
None of us were actually correct. It was higher than we expected, which is quite interesting. And we have a caloric count of 137 kilocalories, which is a quite hefty one. So it's definitely up there. It's also what we see.
So should we check out what we have been drinking?
Let's look at it. The brewery.
The brewery. So this is a bourbon barrel-aged imperial stout with cocoa nibs and coffee. It's a heavy one.
Cheers.
Cheers.